Okay, a very good morning, children. Children. In the previous class, we were discussing about what your application of percentage, where I discussed so many things. I discussed what is profit, what is loss, cost price, selling price, formula for profit, when there is profit, when there is loss. Okay, what is the formula for profit percent, loss percent, then formula for profit and loss, then formula for selling price and cost price under different conditions we had discussed in the last class. And I had told you that there are 4 new formulae to calculate the selling price and cost price under different conditions. Let us discuss those formulae. Okay. Now children, suppose you are given, look at, suppose you are given the selling price and profit percent. See, profit percent or gain percent are given. You see. Suppose in a particular question you are given the value of selling price and profit percent. Okay. So how will you calculate or compute the cost price? What will be the formula for cost price if selling price and profit percent, selling price of an article and the profit percent are given? What will be the formula for CP? This is a completely new thing for you, hence you have to remember it. Okay. If you remember this formula, you can do the problem very quickly. Okay. Otherwise, if you follow unitary method, it will take a lot of time. That does not mean without remembering formula we cannot solve problems on application of percentage. Yes, we can solve. We can solve it by using the concept of what? Unitary method. But since it is time taking, it is convenient to remember the formula. Simply put the formula and get the answer. That will be the best. Okay. So now the question is, suppose selling price of an article is given and profit percent are given. How to compute the cost price? This formula, then the formula is, you see, then CP equal to SP into 100 by 100 plus profit percent or gain percent, whatever you say. Look at children, this is completely new thing. When you are given the selling price and profit percent of an article in a transaction or business, in order to calculate the cost price, you have to use this formula. Please keep it in mind. Okay. That means selling price multiplied by 100 divided by 100 plus profit percent. Okay. Now let us consider the next situation. Suppose you are given the selling price and loss percent. See, suppose these two values are given. Okay. If these two values are given, then how to compute the cost price of the article? Very simple. The same formula, only in place of plus it will be minus, and in place of profit percent it will, since there is loss percent, it will become minus, and this profit percent will become loss percent. So what will be the formula? CP equal to SP into 100 by 100 minus loss percent. Very simple. Okay. So you will use this formula to compute the cost price of the article when selling price and loss percent are given. But when selling price and profit percent are given, you have to use this formula to compute the cost price. Okay. Now, next is, that means these are 2 new formula of cost price. Now the point is, what is the formula? Suppose, let us consider the other situation. Suppose you are given CP and suppose you are given the cost price of the article and profit percent. You see, profit percent are given. Now, how to find the selling price? See children, how to find the selling price? How to find the selling price of the article? If you are given cost price and profit percent, you see, if you remember these 2 formulae, you can easily find out. See, look at this formula. Here CP equal to SP into 100 by 100 plus profit percent. Now you want to find what? You want to find selling price. So take this 100 by 100 plus profit percent will be divided by CP. Okay. That means CP will be equal to, SP will be equal to what? CP into this by 100, you see. Then SP equal to CP into 100 plus gain percent divided by 100. You see. CP equal to SP into 100 by 100 plus profit percent. So, when we find SP, this term will be multiplied if it comes to the right hand side, you see. Here it is divided, it will be multiplied, and this one is multiplied, 100 is multiplied means it will be divided. Or you can say 100 by 100 plus profit percent. You see, look at this term. 100 by 100 plus profit percent is multiplied by selling price. If it comes to the right hand side, left hand side, you can ask me, sir, why to take to the left hand side? Because you want to find the value of selling price. So definitely you have to take this term to the left hand side. Now if this term is taken to the left hand side, it will be divided here, because in the right side it has been multiplied. Okay. So, and if this term is divided, what will happen? You will get this. SP equal to CP into 100 plus profit percent by 100. So this will be the formula for what? Selling price of the article when cost price and profit percent are given. Now another thing. Suppose you are given CP and loss percent. Suppose you are given, you see, if CP and suppose loss percent given. Loss percent given. If CP and loss percent are given, cost price and loss percent are given, then how to compute the selling price? Look at, very simple. Same thing. SP will be equal to CP into this by 100. That means then your SP will be equal to CP into 100 minus loss percent divided by 100. You see, this is the formula. So selling price will be equal to cost price into 100 minus loss percent divided by 100. Okay. So these are some new formulae on cost price and selling price which we had not read earlier. For the first time we read. And please remember this new formulae for, you see, these are two formulae for cost price and these are two formulae for this one and this one for selling price. It is very important from the problem while solving problems. Okay. This formula will of great use. Okay, so you please keep it in mind and remember it. Okay. Now with this we completed everything about your what? Profit loss. Now let us go to the concept of simple interest. Okay, children. Children, you know that we keep money in the bank. We keep money in bank, post office, and in other financial organizations. Okay, like your LIC. There are so many branches. There are so many financial agencies where we keep money. And why do we keep money? We keep money for different reasons. Okay, for different reasons, and one of the reasons is to get some extra amount, that is your interest. We get some extra amount by keeping money in the bank for a particular time period, say 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Why do we keep money in the bank? We keep money in the bank to earn some extra amount, and that extra money that we earn from the bank or other financial agencies is nothing but your interest. And you know what is the formula for simple interest? It was there in class 5. So whatever money we keep in the bank, okay, I am discussing once again. Whatever money we keep in the bank, it is called the sum or the principal, or loan that we take from the bank. The loan that we take from the bank is also the principal or the sum, SUM, sum. Okay. So the term principal I discussed, whatever money is kept in the bank, deposited in the bank, or whatever loan we take from the bank, that is nothing but your principal or sum. Okay. Now we keep money for a particular time period, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, as many years as you like. So for whatever time we keep the money or deposit the money in the bank, that is the time period, which is generally given, or it is expressed in what? It must be expressed as years. Time period must be given in years, not in month and days. If it is given in month and days, you have to change it into years. Okay, you know the conversion. So then only you can calculate the what? Simple interest. Also another term. So we discussed what is principal or sum. P. It is P. Symbol is P. Then time period, it is T for how long you keep the money, you deposit the money in the bank, that is the time period in years. Okay, it must be in years. Then rate of interest. So what is the meaning of rate of interest? It is also not new for you. See, whatever extra money, I just said now we keep money in the bank to earn some extra money or extra amount. Okay. What extra money we get for 100 rupees in 1 year, you see. Suppose I am giving one simple example, you can understand. Suppose you kept 100 rupees in the bank. Okay. Suppose you deposited or kept 100 rupees in the bank for 1 year. And after 1 year, suppose the bank gave you 110 rupees, you see, 10 rupees extra. You see, you had deposited 100 rupees, but after 1 year, suppose the bank paid you an extra amount of say rupees 10. You see, this 10 rupees extra amount or interest you earned, you got it on how many rupees? 100 rupees. And in how many years? In 1 year. So this 10, it will be 10 is your rate 10%. Okay. So you see, you kept 100 rupees. Okay, this is the principal or sum. Suppose time period is T. Time period is 1 year and extra money or interest, you see, time period. So your interest is suppose rupees 10, you see. Suppose rupees 10. That means you see, when you kept 100 rupees in the bank for 1 year, if you got an extra money or interest of 10 rupees, this 10 rupees you are earning on how many rupees? 100 rupees. 10 rupees extra you are earning on how many rupees? 100 rupees. And in how many years? In 1 year. So this 10 by 100 is nothing but your 10%, you see. So that means here the rate of interest is 10%. So what is rate of interest? Rate of interest means the extra money earned on every 100 rupees in 1 year. Okay, and it is always expressed as a percentage. These are the things which we have already read in junior classes, but once again I discussed. Okay, so now after coming to know what is principal or sum, then rate and time period. You see, once again I am saying time period must be expressed in years in simple interest calculation. Then rate, it must be expressed as a percentage. Okay, these are the things which we need to remember. Okay children, you also know what is the formula to calculate simple interest. If I ask you what is the formula for calculating simple interest, you can easily say simple interest equal to P into T into R. You see, P for principal or sum, T for time period, and R for what? Rate of interest divided by 100. You see, this is the formula for calculating simple interest. Okay, that means when you are given, if you are given principal or sum, then time period and the rate of interest in percentage, if this is in years, then you can easily compute. You can easily compute what will be the simple interest. Okay. Now, after simple, suppose the example which I was just giving now few minutes ago. You see, I said you keep 100 rupees in the bank, and after 1 year, suppose the bank paid you 10 rupees extra. Okay, that 10 rupees extra is the what? Is the interest. Okay, and it is clearly the simple interest. Okay. Now, if you close the account, how much total money the bank will give you? The bank will give you 100 rupees plus 10 rupees. That means whatever you are deposited and whatever extra money the bank paid you, 10 rupees. That principal is 100, 10 rupees is interest. Now, when we add, that means you will get 110 rupees if you close the account. Now, see children, this 110 rupees, what is this 110 rupees? Is it the principal? No. Is it the principal or sum? No. Then what is it? It is called amount. So how did you get the amount? So amount, you see, the formula for amount is amount A equal to principal plus simple interest. That means to calculate the amount, first we have to find what is the simple interest. Using this formula, we have to calculate the simple interest. Then if we add the simple interest to the principal, we get the amount. Okay. So if amount is principal plus simple interest, then what will be the formula for simple interest? It will be amount minus principal. What will be the formula for principal? It will be amount minus simple interest. Just from this formula you can derive this two. Okay. These are the things which we have read in junior classes, but we will read something more in this class about simple interest. Okay. So this is the formula for simple interest. This is the formula for amount. This is the formula for simple interest when amount and principal are given. This is the formula for principal when principal or sum when amount and simple interest are given. Now let us discuss some more formula to end the chapter, and then we will discuss only few problems so that you will have a clear understanding of the chapter. Okay. Now see children, if look at the formula for simple interest. You see, if simple interest is calculated by principal into time period into rate, you see. Now, what will be the formula for P? That means, what I mean to say, when, suppose you are given, when simple interest, time period and rate of interest are given. See children, suppose in a particular question, you are given the value of simple interest, time period and rate of interest. How will you calculate the what? How will you calculate the principal? You see, to calculate principal, what will happen? This 100 you take to the left hand side. Here it is divided. So it will be multiplied. So SI into 100. Now look at T and R. They are multiplied here. So it will be divided. You see T into R. So this will be the formula for principal. When simple interest, time period and rate of interest are given. Use this formula to calculate what? The sum or the principal. Now, next formula. Suppose when SI, your R and P, rate of interest and P given. You see, suppose you are given the simple interest value, rate of interest and principal or sum. How will you calculate the time period? So time period will be calculated, same formula, same procedure, SI into 100 C by P into R. That means multiply the simple interest by 100, then multiply the principal by the rate of interest, divide the two, you will get the time period. Okay. So this is the formula for P, this is the formula for T. Then how to calculate the rate of interest? You see, suppose in a question you are given, see, suppose in a question when SI, principal and T, time period, simple interest, principal or sum and time period given, suppose. Then how to calculate the rate of interest? The same formula, it will be SI, simple interest into 100 by P into T. See. So these are some extra formula which we read in this class for the first time. How to calculate the principal when simple interest and time period rate are given. How to calculate time period when simple interest, principal and rate of interest are given. Then how to calculate rate of interest when simple interest, principal and time period are given. Okay. So these are the things which we read for the first time in class 7. Please remember it. Okay children. So with this I discussed everything, all the formulae related to your application of percentage. Now in the next class we will discuss few problems on this, so that you will have a clear understanding of the chapter. Okay children. So I hope whatever I discussed you understood. Thank you.